this is Stampy, and welcome to another Q&A video. I believe this is the fourth Q&A video that I've done. The last one, which I did 7 months ago, I said in that video, leave comments in the description with other questions, and then I can answer them in future Q&A videos. And I did mean to do one sooner than 7 months, but hey, I am doing that. So there's going to be kind of two parts to this. The first part, I'm going to be reading through comments that were on that last video. Some of them were like literally 7 months ago, so there's going to be some old questions. And then I also did tweet out as well and said, hey, any other questions? So then we're going to kind of transition to some more, I guess, topical questions, you know, with things that people have asked today as I am recording this. So right then, let's get started and start reading them. So the first one, and this is, as I said, from the old one, this is 7 months ago, it's from the Creepercraft, and they said, I have a question. Why did you private your old Lovely World videos, and will they ever come back? I know many classic Stampy fans have the same question. So, yeah, the reason I privated a lot of my early Lovely World videos is I wasn't happy with the quality. There was some bad language that was in those old videos just because at the time I wasn't making videos that were suitable for children. I had no intention, you know, to have videos, you know, that a younger audience would be watching. It just kind of happened that, you know, I think it kind of happened at the time when I started YouTube doing Minecraft videos when a lot of kids started playing Minecraft. Before then, it kind of wasn't considered, you know, a game that many children played. As soon as I realised children were watching, then I stopped swearing. And also just the videos were a bit rubbish. I know people have nostalgia to them. I have nostalgia to them as well, but they're kind of like rubbish videos anyway, so we're not really missing out too much. The only way I'd bring them back is like a more edited version. Maybe I could do a compilation of them or something, but no plans just to unprivate the straight videos. Question from Bob Loves Cheese says, who is your main in Overwatch? If you don't know, I do play Overwatch absolutely loads. Anyone who follows me on Xbox will know that. I guess the closest thing to my main is Farah. She's the person who I enjoy to play the most, and any time I can play her, I do. But she's probably not my most played hero just because I like to win, so I'm always kind of just filling whatever role's needed. So I'm normally a tank or a healer. Often Anna, Zenyatta, or Diva, or Roadhog are kind of probably my most played ones, just because that's the way I can win most, because a lot of people want to be DPS. If you don't play Overwatch, this means absolutely nothing to you. Let's move on to the next question. This is from Yoda Turtle, and they even have a little picture of a Yoda Turtle, and they said, why did you quit Terraria? And I did actually answer this in a previous Q&A I did, but loads of people kind of still keep asking me it, so I thought I might as well go and address it again. Yeah, basically, I kind of got hit a bit of a brick wall trying to defeat a boss, and then I was waiting for the new update to come out on the current gen consoles, the Xbox One, and then I was going to bring my world across. That was the plan. I brought my character across, and that worked, but my world, for some reason, isn't transferring across, so I don't know, maybe I will be able to get that sorted, but that's the reason why I'm not doing Terraria. A question from EG Vidworks. They say, does it ever get stressful when you can't think of Lovely World ideas? I wouldn't say it gets stressful. Like, it's more like, sometimes I get worried. Sometimes I'll be at a point where I'm like, I just can't think of any new minigames. And I think, like, what if this is it? What if I have done every minigame I'm ever going to think of? And then suddenly I discover some random mechanic in the game and I'm like, I can make a minigame out of that. And then I normally do try and have a few backup things. Like, for example, I have not done anything with the Elytra. Or the Elytra, however you say it. I just haven't really used them yet. And I know I'm going to do a minigame using them, but I'm kind of just saving that as kind of like a safety net for if I do run out of kind of more unique ideas, you know, I could do something with Elytra, which is just so obviously, you know, perfect to make a minigame. But I don't really ever get stressed. J Train says, are you doing Lego Worlds again? And there's a chance I will if they update it a lot. Like, there's some things that I really, really love about LEGO Worlds, and then some things that they're not bad, they're just not very suitable for making videos. Like, building in the game is hard to make a fun video out of that because you're kind of just flying around and you know, it's kind of all menus and you're just placing blocks. Whereas on Minecraft, if you're building, you know, you're kind of getting your hands dirty, you're building scaffolding and you're digging block by block, and it's kind of more fun to watch, and you know, you can do really detailed things in Lego Worlds, but it's kind of boring seeing someone spending ages doing loads of detail, and kind of the way that basically they've kind of smashed survival mode and creative mode together, which means, you know, even in their survival mode, you can basically just always just fly and build whatever you want anyway. It's kind of hard to make the type of content I like making on it, so I probably won't be doing anything unless they really heavily update it. Stephen Palaquis, I think their name is, says, do you plan to make a series with any other YouTubers like Dan TDM, Big B, because you played with Stacey Plays? It would be a nice change. Probably not really. I generally don't collaborate too much, mainly because I'm not very good at collaborating. Like, I like to have control over what it is that I'm doing in the videos. I can talk over people a lot in videos, just because, you know, I'm so used to kind of being the one in control. So that's why I don't really collaborate too much. And I also don't like the pressure of kind of fitting around someone else's schedule, and, you know, they might not be around. I always like to kind of plan ahead. So that's why I don't do too many collaborations. But that's not to say that, you know, I won't ever do it. I just don't ever come from the standpoint of like, hey, I want to collaborate with this person, let's talk to them and see what we want to do. But, you know, it will only happen if I come up with a really good idea first where I need a specific person. For example, with Stacey Plays, you know, we did our Story Mode House series, which, you know, I could have only done with Stacey, and it worked really well. And it was also good because, you know, I already knew and was good friends with Stacey, so that kind of made it easier because, you know, it was much easier being able to kind of bounce off each other because we knew each other well, you know, whereas, you know, if I was doing, you know, a video, you know, with Dan TDM or something, you know, I know Dan, I've met him a bunch of times, but, you know, I don't hang out with him regularly. So, you know, there is kind of almost a bit of an awkward barrier or a social barrier where, you know, it takes a while until you're going to be completely natural with them, you know, like I am with Squishy and Squid. Right then, next question. This is from the Husky Remix / the Husky Dubstep. Question for Stampy Cat. Is Wonder Quest Season 3 dead, or are you still working on it? Just wondering. Just wondering, I wonder. There are no plans at the moment to do Season 3. It's not through a lack of trying. I wanted to do a Season 3. We were planning a Season 3. Sadly, the way Wonder Quest works is it's kind of partly owned by me, and it's also partly owned by Disney, which means that Disney couldn't make Season 3 of Wonder Quest without me, and I couldn't make it without them. You know, we were trying to do something together. Sadly, that fell through. So, you know, even if I wanted to do something in Wonder Quest, you know, I just couldn't do it unless I did it with Disney. So sadly, looks like it might be the end for Wonder Quest, which is very sad to say. Next question from Zoe Zebra. They say, sounds like they could be one of my helpers, couldn't they? Zoe Zebra. Do you ever regret starting a series because it was too technical, or another reason? I wouldn't say one too technical. So, I mean, the one big series that I do regret doing and kind of wish I could take back is the No Home Challenge. And that was the one that I did on the Pocket Edition version. Just because of all of the technical problems that I had recording on the iPad. Well, the recording, it was fine. There's just loads of bugs in the game. If you remember, if you saw it, you know, basically the game broke at several points. There'd be weird glitches, you know, from silly little things to like the sheep not having faces, you know, up to, you know, the big battle against the Ender Dragon where blocks were just randomly reappearing, and basically I had to end the series early because, you know, the game basically broke. And so, of course, when I started recording it, I didn't know that was going to happen. So, you know, it's very rare that I'd record an entire series and then upload it. If I knew how it was going to end, basically, like, not having a proper ending, I wouldn't have started it. So that's kind of the only big one I regret. But then again, it's all kind of part of the learning curve, I guess. So looking back now, I guess I'm glad I did it. But, you know, if I knew what it was going to end up being, I probably wouldn't have done it at the time. This is from StampyFan number 1. Good username. Are you going to make a new Minecraft series? If so, what will it be? No plans to start a new Minecraft series, which sounds a little bit weird to say. Kind of my goal... I did a Let's Talk about this ages ago, talking about the future of my channel. If this is the first time you're hearing it, I recommend watching that video. But basically, my plan was to really slow down with the amount of Minecraft videos that I do in terms of series, and then I can continue doing other games, and then also be able to do, you know, more things outside of that area. So the plan is, and this is how it is at the moment, is I do Lovely World, and then I also kind of have Stampy's Funland as well as a separate series, which is still inside of my Lovely World. So that is kind of what I'm planning to keep it as at the moment. No plans to start any other kind of long challenge series or anything at the moment. I'm sure at some point in the future, if I come up with a great idea, I will do, but, you know, that isn't my goal at the moment. But then I can continue doing one-off videos like Stampy shorts and, you know, my top 10 videos. I'm doing a lot of them at the moment, and then kind of just, you know, more hit the target videos, and then just, you know, other things on other channels like my Let's Crest channel. I'm going to be doing some more stuff on, maybe some more vloggy things, some more live action stuff. So yeah, no plans to start any new Minecraft series. This next one is from Lizzie Rainey, and they say, did Alex, which is this dog here, get along with Ori, who is my cat, who's not here right now? Did they get along right away, or did you have to introduce them and make sure they were friends? So they got along, like they never were angry at each other, you know, they never attacked each other. The problem is Alex is, I mean, she doesn't look like it now because she's very tired because we just played fetch, but she's a very playful dog, and she tries to play with anything, whether it's a person, whether it's a dog that doesn't like being played with, whether it's a cat, she just wants to play with it. And Ori can sometimes be playful, but generally the way that cats and dogs plays are a little bit different. Alex's version of playing is basically jumping on her, and so, you know, they've never been in a fight at all, but, you know, Alex would annoy her and basically pester her, and then she would get annoyed and Ori would run off and Alex would chase, and so that was basically what would happen for a while. But now they've got way better. Alex has chilled out. Alex has kind of realised just to kind of leave Ori alone, and, you know, Alex will walk in the room, you know, she'll go up and like kind of sniff Ori, and then Ori will sniff Alex, and then they'll just lie down, and sometimes they'll like literally lie like round together, which is kind of the cutest thing. So yeah, they always got along, but now they respect each other a little bit better now. This next question is from Mac, and Mac says, are you ever going to interact with your fans more in-game? Oh yeah, we've transitioned to Twitter questions by now, so these are going to be more recent ones. Yeah, are you ever going to interact with your fans in-game more? So a lot of people will say this, like when doing like Hunger Games or things like that, to do videos with fans, or like, you know, invite, you know, your viewers into your lovely world. The problem is the focus always has to be on the video first. Like, if it makes the video better by having people in the game, you know, that are my viewers, then I'll 100% do that. But sometimes it's a little bit more unpredictable if you're inviting someone into your world you don't know. Of course, especially doing videos on the 360, you only have 100 friends, and I have filled up my 100 friends, so I can't even really invite people to my world because my friends list is full. And then, you know, if I'm playing online, I won't have my mic on because I don't know what anyone else is going to say. So I always like the idea of doing that, but it's in practice, it's very difficult for it to make a better video. And ultimately, that's what matters more, because that's what more people are going to see. More people are going to see the video, you know, rather than the people that are actually in the game. So, you know, I can play the mini games online, and, you know, I'll often run into people that recognize me, and, you know, I'll play with them. And if I can see them trying to line up next to me to get a screenshot, I'll always kind of stand and pose with them. But, you know, I generally don't kind of go out my way to do that for videos, because, you know, if I am doing the battle minigame and they know me, there's a good chance they're either going to hunt me down immediately or just not attack me or try and throw me items. Either way, you're not having like a fun competitive game, and it makes the video worse. And, you know, I'm sure if you've seen any of my battle minigame challenges, you know, you've seen moments where that happens, and I think I'm going to have a big epic showdown. It's 1v1, who's going to win? And then they just throw me all of their items. I'm like, oh, now I just feel mean even trying to take them out. But that's the point of the game. So next question, this is from Sam, and she says, are you going to any conventions or events where we can meet you? Once again, no plans to at the moment. I have done an entire Let's Talk about why I don't really go to conventions, so there's nothing really on the roadmap. The only convention I was planning to continue going to was Minecon, but of course Minecon doesn't really exist as a convention anymore, and, you know, I'm not going to the filming or any of that stuff, so sadly no plans for conventions or anything at the moment. Jack48 YouTube says, why don't you play Fortnite? I did a little bit. Like, I played when Fortnite, like literally the day it came out, like the Battle Royale mode, I played it then, and I kind of played it pretty regularly, probably until just about when Tilted Towers came out. And then, yeah, I kind of just got a little bit bored of it. Like, I liked it as more of a casual game. Once people got really serious and really good at the building, and, you know, that was really where the skill kind of really came from. Like, I was never as into that. I don't know, I just didn't fancy putting in the time to get crazy good at all of those mechanics. And so kind of the casual way I'd play it, you know, always with a group of friends I'd be playing it, I kind of got a little bit less interested. It's kind of what happened with me with Rocket League as well. I like Rocket League as a silly casual game when all the cars are banging into each other. Then people started really kind of training and getting good, and I kind of once again, you know, found it less interesting because I kind of enjoyed it more as a party game. So yeah, I don't really play Fortnite anymore. I haven't played it in a very long time, and yeah, it's never really interested me for doing, you know, videos on it, so, you know, I've never really planned to do that. Next question is from Colin. Are you upset about the Xbox One edition being cancelled, or are you kind of relieved since it's time to move on? Yeah, I am really upset about the Xbox One edition because, as I said, my plan is mainly to be just doing my lovely world, and that is the big series for me that has been, affected by the fact that they're not continuing the Xbox One edition because, I was planning to transfer it to Xbox One, and then what I was hoping to do is to bring it across as it is, and then what you can do in the console edition is then just gradually expand the size of the world, which means every time there's a big new update, like the aquatic update or something, as I expand the world, it means I will get all of the new features, any new terrain or structures will be able to spawn in, but whereas if I, was moving it to Bedrock, Bedrock has infinite worlds, you can't limit the world size, so, that's not so great, as well as all of the other issues that I have with Bedrock for why I can't record in there. It doesn't have the skins I need, and the redstone doesn't work the same and stuff. So yeah, it sucks because that's the one thing that matters, because they're still continuing the PlayStation 4 edition. So any new series I did, I can just do on PS4. That's what I did anyway. If you look at all of my series, that I just did by myself, all of my challenges, they've all been on PS4 anyway. So that's not been affected. It's only my lovely world, which has been, kind of messed up by the decisions that the Minecraft team have made, and the problem is that's the one series that I'm continuing, so yeah, I am upset about it, and yeah, I don't really want to move on, so I'm not relieved about that. Katie Adams says, what is life like as a YouTuber? Do you get approached by fans when you go out to places? So life as a YouTuber is, sometimes it can be a little bit lonely, I guess. I mean, luckily for me, I live with, someone else who does YouTube, so they understand it, and that's good. But in terms of actually doing YouTube, it's, you're generally by yourself, whether you're editing or planning things or recording. So that actual part, it's really fun and it's creative, but it's not like this amazing dream like a lot of people think it is. And, we do kind of get spotted when we're out and about, but not to a ridiculous level. I'm not getting stressed about going to a restaurant because I'm worried that we're going to be harassed or anything. It's just if we're going to the park or if we're going shopping or somewhere, one or two people might stop us to say hello, often ask for a picture or something, which I'll do, which is absolutely fine. The only thing that's a bit annoying when, I'm feeling like I'm not wearing very nice clothes or looking really scruffy, or maybe I didn't have a shower that day and I'm like, oh no, I don't have a picture with someone is kind of the thing. And then any place where there will be a lot of children, if there's a cafe or going to a theme park or something, those are the times when it can be a bit more stressful. There has been one or two times, there's a time in an arcade where we were playing a game and we kind of literally got just surrounded by people. In the end, we kind of had to make it a dash out. But those moments are very rare. But day to day, it doesn't really affect my life too much. Kieran/Mega VS Prime says, ever since Bedrock released for Xbox One last September, have your opinions on it changed? If so, how? Will you try out Bedrock on Nintendo Switch once it's released? Is there one feature that you would love on Bedrock? Okay, that's a lot of questions, so let's go through them one at a time. Have my opinions changed on the Xbox One Bedrock? I think it's got better. My opinions in terms of I have no more interest in playing it as it is at the moment. A lot of the the changes that they've made are good. There's bug fixes. There's bug fishes. There is fishes, actually. Yeah, there's been a lot of fixes, and it crashes less than it used to, which is all good things. But, a lot of the big issues that I had with it for why it's not suitable for me, none of that stuff's been addressed, and I think some of it won't be. It's kind of just a creative difference, or it's just, something that would mess up people on the Pocket Edition too much. So my opinions in terms of wanting to play it hasn't changed, but it's been getting better, and I'm sure it will continue to get better. Will you try out Bedrock on the Switch? I'll give it a go. So the Switch I mainly use as, when I'm planning things that I'm going to do in my lovely world, designing mini games and stuff. And so for doing that stuff, I'm going to have to stay on the Switch edition because, I need to be designing it on the same game that I'm going to end up recording it on, just to make sure the mechanics are all the same. But, I'll give it a go. I think you get it for free if you have the other version, so I'll probably try it out anyway. If there's any one feature that you would love on Bedrock, just one. I think a big one would be exit without saving would be a huge one for me, and then the limiting the world size, and then just I don't know, just the small tweaks like being able to, the speed that you fly in creative mode is the same speed that you place blocks, so you're not always messing it up. And when you fly at an axis, so if you're building a long row of blocks, you don't kind of drift away. So yeah, that's not one feature, but there are a few big ones that bug me with it. The next one is Crazy Luigi Fan 58. They say, is there any reason you still play Minecraft even though it's unpopular? So it's not unpopular. Minecraft is still, right up there at the top, both in terms of game sales, in terms of I think it's like peaked at the moment in terms of the amount of people that are actively playing it. Because you can never really look at the sales of a game, because you can see, Minecraft sold, I don't know how many it is, 90 million copies or whatever it is. It's probably more than that or something by now, but it doesn't really matter how many it sold, because a lot of people are buying it on multiple devices. It's kind of one of the games where you might want it on your phone, on your console, and your PC, and also there might be people that bought it 5 years ago and don't play it anymore. But in terms of people that are still actively playing it, it's right up as big as it's ever been, and in terms of YouTube, it's still getting basically as many views as it's ever had. It's kind of just the perception of Minecraft has changed, and it happens when anything gets really popular, and it's going to happen with Fortnite as well if it's not happened already, where something grows and grows and grows, gets really popular, and then people just stop liking it basically because it's popular. You always see it with bands where when they're a cool indie band, they like them, and then suddenly they're the biggest band in the world or the biggest artist in the world, and then everyone suddenly turns on them. And that has happened with Minecraft. It's had the shift, and so now a lot of people hate on Minecraft, especially people that were there in the early days when it was kind of this cool little indie game, and now it's such a big mainstream, and there's merchandise and drops and conventions, and there's going to be a film. They feel like they've kind of lost its identity, but the game is still what it is. But yeah, in terms of the reason I still play Minecraft is I enjoy making videos on it. Like that's the reason why. Like I still like it. Like I'm not pretending to. Like I have no reason to oh god, I hate playing Minecraft, but I got to play it for those views. Like that isn't a factor for me. So yeah, that's the reason why I still play it, and it's not unpopular. Alice I Miss Shiny says, what's your current favourite video game to play when you aren't recording? Probably my go-to at the moment is Overwatch, which is what I was talking about earlier. Big thing is that I watch the Overwatch League, and I'm supporting the London Spitfire team for anyone else that watches it. And I don't know, whenever you're watching a game a lot, it really makes you want to play it. I guess that's kind of what happens when you're watching a Let's Play of a game. It makes you want to play it. But we're watching a lot of the Overwatch League at the moment, and that kind of makes me want to play it. So that's kind of my go-to game to play. Hi Ballistic Squid says, do you think I am pretty? Yes I do. Seth Thompson says, who would you personally thank other than your family for the position you are in now? That's an interesting question, because I have thanked my parents a lot. So there's a lot of people that have kind of helped me out, but I think a group that I really need to thank is the first people that really started watching me on YouTube, because it's, I don't know, a lot of the time when you're looking at YouTubers, when you discover them, they're already relatively big, or they're growing, people are talking about them, there's a buzz against them. It kind of takes a lot for someone to start watching someone, who's not getting very many views. So, I'm looking back to when I was getting under 100 views per video, and, people started watching and subscribing to me then. And even though I wasn't a known YouTuber, still kind of took a chance on me and, were watching all of my videos, which then kind of starts the snowball rolling to more and more people coming in. So I don't know if there's any chance that anyone, back from the very beginning of my channel is watching this, but if you are, one of those, in my first 1,000 subscribers or whatever, and you were watching me before anyone knew who I was, I guess thank you to you. This is when I know everyone's going to comment saying, I was one of your first 1,000 comments. The amount of people that say I was watching you, I was your 7th subscriber, and it's I think I forgot 100 7th subscribers in that case. Amy Bag says, Stampylongnose, how can you change the world with your videos? God, we've got some deep questions coming up now. How can I change the world? So with my videos, I don't think, you can change the world, with art, with culture. I think, you look back at, what music did in the 60s, you can have a big impact. I think with the type of stuff I'm doing, I don't think I can change the world. So I guess what I can do is hopefully just be a positive person. And if I can just bring a bit of happiness and just be a bright, positive thing, and make anyone a bit happy, I guess, in my small way, that is changing the world for a few certain people. And, just to be on the side of being a positive influence on the internet compared to a negative influence on the internet. Because there's always a battle going on there with people trying to be negative and, trolling and banter and bullying, whatever word you want to label in front of it. There's that side of the internet, and then there's the amazing, positive side as well. And so I just want to be on this team, the positive side. Hopefully you are on that side as well. So I guess in that small way, that's how I can change the world. This is from Quais. Say Quace, something along those lines. Do you have any tips on growing a gaming YouTube channel fast? Nope. It took me, I don't know how many years it took me to grow. I think it took me like 6 or 7 years or something until I got 1,000 subscribers. So I'm probably the worst person for that. And even when my channel did grow, it was basically luck of doing the right thing at the right time and then working hard. You know, like the way to grow fast is, you know, by means that I don't do on my channel, and the way to sustain a channel and to remain relevant and popular is by basically not doing what I do. So I am not the best person to do that. I guess my advice is, if you do the type of thing that you enjoy doing, then whether you get a lot of people watching or not, it doesn't matter, because you're winning, because you're happy by it. I know that's an answer a lot of people don't like to hear, because they want to get a lot of subscribers and they want to be rich and famous, but, you know, often if you just set that as your goal, you know, you're setting yourself up for failure, because at the moment there's a lot more people that want to do YouTube than there are people watching YouTube videos. Like, it hasn't kind of lined up yet. So yeah, good luck with your channel, but I would recommend not setting growing your channel fast as your goal, because ultimately you're probably going to end up getting disappointed because you won't get loads of views straight away, and then you might just end up quitting, and then you'll never have a chance to get a lot of people watching. Next question is from Indoraptor, and they say, will you be playing Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu / Eevee when it's released on the Switch? Yeah, I'll definitely be playing it. I don't know if I'll be recording it. I want to find out more about it, because it's in the Kanto region, which is basically the first region of Pokemon. My favourite Pokemon game is the first generation. I played Blue, Yellow and Red are basically the same. Yellow's a bit different. But yeah, so, you know, I'm looking forward to a bit of a nostalgia trip, going back to kind of seeing the original Pokemon and kind of going around those regions and seeing it on the Switch. I wasn't a huge fan of Pokemon Go, and I'm a little bit worried about the you know, how they're including Pokemon Go into the game, how much of an emphasis is going to be on that side of things, because I have no interest in actually playing Pokemon Go again. So as long as that stuff is kind of like a gimmicky light thing that you can do, you know, on the side, but there is still like a decent core Pokemon RPG there, then I would definitely like to play that. And people really like my Pokemon Moon videos that I did recently, so yeah, I don't know where I'll be playing it on the channel, but in some way I'll be at least checking it out for myself. Ooflord says, would you prefer Minecraft or Roblox? Why? I think I prefer Minecraft. I think the big thing that I prefer about Minecraft over Roblox is the fact that Minecraft is a game where everyone is creating things and playing things, or at least most people are, whereas Roblox is a game where there's a very small community of people making things, and then a lot of people playing them. Like, most people playing Roblox aren't making games in Roblox, they're just playing games that other people have made, which is still fine, but in Minecraft it's so much easier to create your own things, and, you know, anytime you're playing just survival or creative, even if you're just building a wooden hut, you are the one creating something and then playing in the world. And to me, that's just a little bit more interesting and engaging. But the things people can make in Roblox are really impressive. You know, it's just a shame that it's only, you know, a very small percentage of the players that are actually creating, whereas most people are just playing things. Next question is from a random person, which is actually their username. And they said, did you see Avengers Infinity War? Did you like it? I did see it. I saw it in the cinema. Saw it a little bit late, but yeah, I did check it out, and I did like it. Like, I wasn't crazy about it. Like, I didn't dislike it, but I think I had really high expectations because everyone was going so absolutely crazy about it. I think I was expecting to like it more than I did, and I did enjoy it. Like, I'm just not a huge superhero person. Like, I hadn't seen the previous Avengers films, so I kind of just like blasted through watching them before I went. I haven't seen all of the side movies. Like, I've seen a few, like we saw Doctor Strange, and I've seen like the Spider-Man ones. I think I've seen one of the Iron Man ones. I think I saw Iron Man 3. I think that's not the one you're supposed to see, though. I think the other ones are better. So I'm not a huge superhero person, so the whole, like, I don't really get into spoilers, but, you know, the ending of Infinity War and about, you know, who's here and who's not and all of that stuff. Like, I didn't care enough about the characters, but it was an entertaining film to see in the cinema. That was my opinion. Please don't shout at me if it's like your favourite film ever. Question from Vigilante, and they say, there are many games with great stories which aren't suitable for younger audiences. I was wondering if you have considered making Let's Plays on those games, example Detroit, Uncharted and Tomb Raider. No, I can't really, because, you know, I have said that my content is going to be family friendly, and, you know, you can't just say, like, this series is and this one isn't. Like, even when you say, you know, people make a second channel and then they say, oh, this is for non-child friendly stuff. And it's like, well, who do you think's going to watch it? People are going to still find the channel. It's still you. It doesn't matter if you put it on a different channel or not. Like, I never understand the, you know, how people see there's a big difference there. So, you know, I can't really do videos on those games. I've played them. I've played Uncharted. We're playing through Detroit at the moment, but I'm not going to do videos on them. But I think people get really hung up on, you know, something being family friendly and then something being for kids. Like, I do videos and have done videos before which aren't necessarily, you know, aimed at children. They're suitable for children, you know, there's no bad language in them, there's no extreme violence, but, you know, I'd say a game like The Last Guardian that I did isn't really a game for kids, if we're honest. It's not really a kiddie game. It's suitable for children, but, you know, it's not really aimed at children. And then some of the other videos I've done, like even some of the Let's Crest stuff, you know, a lot of the jokes are kind of more subtle, and, you know, there are stuff that I do which isn't necessarily aimed for children, you know, it's just suitable for children. And I think that sometimes people get kind of stuck up between the difference between them. But yeah, I am going to be being family friendly. This question is from Grian, and he says, what are your feelings towards content creation now versus when you started? Does it start to feel more chore-like, or do you still have the same itch? So the moment it feels chore-like, I will stop, because there's no reason. If it's a chore, then there's no reason to kind of continue doing it. It just, you know, becomes painful. I'm lucky enough to not be relying on YouTube, you know, to pay the bills. So, you know, I'm lucky to have the choice to kind of stop doing it whenever I want. So the second it does become a chore is the moment that I would stop. But it has definitely changed. You know, back in the day, every time I uploaded a video, I'd be, you know, straight to the comments, like, oh, what are people saying about it? You know, what can I do differently? And, you know, I've been doing it for long enough where, you know, the buzz of uploading every video has kind of passed a little bit. But, you know, in certain videos, you know, I still have that. Like, I still have Let's Crest. I did a video recently which was like a 3-minute poem about, you know, really dramatic poem about crests, and I was recording it with like a dim light and staring straight down the camera, and it was just such a weird video, and it was just such a strange concept and joke for a video, and I wasn't sure how many people would get it or even realize it is as a joke. You know, when I was uploading that video, I just couldn't wait to read the comments, because I was like, what are people going to say to this? Yeah, what are they going to say? Because, you know, I generally know what sort of comments am I going to see on one of my normal videos. You'll see first, you'll see, you know, some of the questions, some of them I've answered here, you know, where's Terraria? When are you going to be bringing this back? Where are the old helpers? You know, there's a few set questions that you see across all of the videos that, you know, I've answered a whole bunch of times. And then, you know, really nice comments of people saying, you know, I like the video, or leaving recommendations, but you kind of get the same sort of things again and again. But when you upload something just completely different, you have no idea what the response is going to be, and that's kind of the thing that's kind of getting me excited at the moment. So things like that, even like my April Fool's video, if you saw that, it was on this channel where I did like a fake setup tour of my office, but I did it inside of a cupboard, and it was all stupid. I pretended that I was in love with myself, and, you know, it was really fun reading the comments of that, just to see, you know, there was people that didn't realize that was a joke, and then some that did, and, you know, whether they found it funny or not. So those videos are still really exciting to me, but, you know, it has changed and kind of just the general normal video I uploaded. But yeah, I still enjoy it. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't still be doing it. Thanks for that question, Green. And that was our last one. That was it. You were the last question, Green, if you are watching this. So thank you very much for that. And thank you anyone that left questions. Sorry if I did not get around to your questions, but you know, I was only probably able to do about 5% of the questions that got. I was actually less than that because of how many comments there was on the last video. But yeah, I'm going to do the same thing again. If you do want to leave a question for a future Q&A, best place to do it is to leave it as a comment on this video. If you see a question that someone else has asked, just thumb them up, and then there's a better chance that I'll be able to see it. And I don't know when the next Q&A video will be, but at some point in the future, I will do another one of these, and maybe I'll get round to your question if there is something that I've missed. If there's a very obvious question that you see asked a lot, there's a good chance I've answered it in one of my previous Q&As. Probably answered it several times, to be honest, because I always end up repeating myself in these. But anyway, in fear of rambling on for too long, I am going to end this video here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. But for now, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye!